Hey guys, welcome back to Ledford. I'm Serein, and today's video is going to be how to make low carb, sugar-free, keto-friendly, gluten-free chocolate chip muffins. And you can easily swap out the dairy with dairy replacements as well. Chris ate all of them the first round, so they obviously were delicious. Chris approved, Samantha approved, and I remade it the way I wanted to make it to make the texture a little bit fluffier the second round. So without further ado, let's show you how to make some delicious chocolate chip, keto-friendly, sugar-free, gluten-free chocolate chip muffin. Here are all the ingredients you're going to need, and I will have it listed in the description box for easy access, as well as you can screenshot it and take it with you to the store. The only replacement would be, instead of milk, I recommend heavy cream for a thicker consistency of a muffin. And you're going to want some sugar-free baking chips. These are from Chuck Zero, and these are absolutely delicious. I'm obsessed with them. I'm a huge fan of Chuck Zero products in general. They make really delicious sugar-free chocolates that you can't even tell. Now we're going to preheat the oven to 350 and grease your muffin tin. Another thing I recommend is to purchase muffin tin liners. It will make your life so much easier. Now in a separate bowl, we're going to mix all the dry ingredients. So we're taking half a cup of coconut flour, and we're going to put that in a bowl along with the granulated monk fruit, salt, and xanthan gum, and baking soda. So for the monk fruit sweetener, we're using a 1/4 cup of granulated monk fruit. I personally prefer monk fruit because it doesn't have that cooling effect in the mouth, and it tastes just like sugar. You'll then add some baking powder. I used about 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and also you're going to want to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I used Himalayan sea salt because it's what I had. And then you're going to use a little xanthan gum. I used about a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. This helps keep everything together. We're going to whisk the dry ingredients very well until it looks kind of like this. In a separate, smaller bowl, we're going to take butter. I'm using 4 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. And then we're going to take 2 ounces of cream cheese, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're going to use a hand mixer, or you can use your KitchenAid stand-up mixer, but you're going to cream all of this together and it'll start to look like this. You want it to be as blended as possible. It'll make the rest of the blending a lot easier. So after about 3 to 4 minutes, it'll start to look more blended, but it's like a really nice consistency. And then we're gonna add 1 egg at a time. After you add each egg, you're gonna wanna blend it well. And we're doing a total of 3 eggs. Next, we're going to slowly add in the dry ingredients, blend, and then continue to add the dry ingredients slowly into the wet mixture. Now we're going to blend until it starts looking like your dough, and then we're going to add in our dairy. Now the milk in here made the consistency very thin, so I recommend replacing the milk with a 1/2 cup of heavy cream and a 1/4 cup of regular milk, or you can skip the regular milk altogether. It'll give you a thicker consistency, which I'll show you at the end of the video. So now we're adding in the chocolate chips, and you're gonna fold the chocolate chips with a spatula instead of using a hand mixer or an electric mixer. So just gently fold in the chocolate chips till you feel like you have a nice consistency and dispersion of them. Now I like to use an ice cream scoop to scoop the batter into muffin tins, and this just helps it keep it a little bit more even. This mixture makes about 12 muffins, and I'm popping them in the oven. I leave them in for about 15 minutes to check on them, and I use a toothpick to poke through the center of a muffin, and when it comes out clean, that's when they're ready. Problem with some of the keto foods or keto baked goods is that it becomes more dense and less fluffy, which taste-wise is fine, but when you're trying to like slice it or take it out of muffin tins, I really should have bought muffin tins, but I was being cheap. They're not the prettiest. They taste really good. Oh no. Yeah, they taste just like a chocolate muffin. Yeah, you'll really like these. Do you want to try them?
Do they have that cooling?
No, because I didn't use erythritol, I used monk fruit. And the chocolate chips from Chuck Zero are delicious because it's almost like a dark chocolate, which I know you'll like. Yeah, taste-wise they're great. Use a muffin liner. I mean, I don't like wasting food, so I always film these live, essentially, because I didn't want to make these and throw them out just because they weren't pretty. I'm still gonna eat them. Love, love, love Chuck Zero. I swear the first time I tried keto, when I discovered Chuck Zero, I ordered $67 worth of chocolate. It got me through becoming keto because sometimes you still crave that sugar. And they use monk fruit and erythritol. They don't use anything that would raise your glycemic index. And their hazelnut milk chocolate barks, those are my favorite. And I think I've spent like hundreds, if not $1,000 on chocolate in the last 2 years. Don't hate me. I think Chuck Zero's chocolates are the closest to the milk chocolate that I crave, because a lot of like the keto sugar-free chocolates out there, it's more of a dark chocolate flavor and it's very hard to do that creamy milk chocolate, but Chuck Zero gets the creamy milk chocolate done so well. Oh, you wanna try this?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going?
Well, I was gonna get a muffin, but apparently I only get like a bite.
You can have a whole one in a minute.
Okay, first we have to do the smell test. Smells like a real muffin. Consistency is that of a real muffin. It's very moist, like very moist. Oh yeah. It tastes like a very, very, very moist regular muffin. Because that's really good, like these are delicious. I'm gonna have another one.
Wait, I need to take a photo for the thumbnail. I used to love, love, love baking, but obviously I don't eat as much sweets anymore. And there's a lot of options out there that are pre-made. When you break down like cost per unit, it is a little cheaper to make it yourself, even though you have to invest in expensive ingredients like coconut flour and xanthan gum.
That shit's expensive.
But the xanthan gum will last you a long time. Keep it in the freezer and it won't go bad. When you buy the pre-made stuff, there's so many great options, and we're gonna do a couple taste tests for you here on this channel. It definitely adds up. Like I mentioned, I probably spent $1,000 in Chuck Zero products with my own money and Chris's money, because I made him buy me some. I mean, at the end of the day, it's both of our money. It's just like, whose card are we putting it on? Which gets paid by the same household. It just makes me feel better sometimes when he puts it on his card. Well, it's only been 2 days later, and those muffins did not last long in this household. Funny thing is, I only ate 2. Remaking another batch to take with us to the Grand Canyon. Hopefully they will last us to the Grand Canyon so we can have a snack while we're hiking. And a couple things I'm changing up for the recipe, because I know earlier in the vlog, everything's pretty much the same, but I got muffin tin liners. So this should make transporting and taking them out a lot easier. I'm also using less milk this time to see if it works better, and I'll let you know at the end if less milk works better. It tastes beautiful. I just wish it was a little bit more fluffy like a muffin versus so dense, but it's okay. It tastes amazing. This definitely is much more of the consistency I want for my muffins. So the trick is 1/2 cup of heavy cream and 1/4 cup of milk. And I think this is gonna be a much better consistency and look for photos, but definitely taste-wise, it's gonna taste pretty much the same. The heavy cream might make it a little bit more rich, but if you're following a low-carb, high-fat diet, that's totally okay. I just took these out of the oven. They are done. I'm so excited. And I popped a couple more chocolate chips on top of the muffin so that they look more chocolatey. They'll slowly melt as the muffins cool. So I think this is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna take them out when they cool and take some photos. I'm so excited. I finally got the texture the way I want it.